Hello my yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this fun lunch bag or small tote. It is so pretty. It's made with the Candy Shop cotton from Premier, and we'll talk more about supplies later. But I made this actually as a lunch tote. Has a nice little button tab here and a beautiful big button. I love these big buttons. But it's the perfect size just to slide your Tupperware inside and take it with you anywhere you want to go. It's got a little bit of a flat bottom so that it will stay put and won't fall over. And plenty of room for whatever you need to take along with you for your lunch or just for the day out on the town or even anytime as a small handbag. It's just a super cute and durable bag. I also love that you can use it with the smaller handles, or you can put it over your shoulder for a shoulder bag. Lots of fun ways to use this super cute tote. I'm calling it a tote because it's, in my opinion, it's not really, say, a market bag unless you're going to go and just pick up a few things. It measures approximately 8.5 inches tall, and it's about 19 to 20 inches around. Remember, a lot of that has to do with how tightly that you stitch. But I just love, isn't this gorgeous, these colors? It's just beautiful. And I think this bag is just perfect for lots of different uses. Like I said, small market bag, go to the library, take a couple books, take a small project with you to the doctor or dentist's office, or just use it as a handbag. It just has lots of fun uses. And I added a few extra little charms. And my thought was this. When I used to work out, people were always stealing my lunches. And they will not steal my lunch bag if it's in this gorgeous lunch bag with my charms on it. They'll know it's mine. Then again, they may like it so much they may steal it, but I hope they don't. Now remember, you can find that blog link with the pattern with lots of pictures on my blog, and you can find that link down in the notes underneath this video. All right, so what do we need to make our fun lunch bag tote, or just a tote? The yarn that I used is the Premier Candy Shop cotton. All right, it is 85% recycled cotton and 15% recycled polyester, and it is a bulky 5. And I absolutely love this yarn for this project because it is washable, like I said. Just toss it in the laundry with your towels if you get food or something on it, and then just lay it on your dryer to dry, and it's perfect. All right, now you're going to need approximately 5.3 ounces, which is one of these cakes. It's 147 yards or 5.3 ounces to make the bag. All right. We're going to be, oh, by the way, you can find my Premier yarn link underneath this video. I'll put that there. So if you want to go and look at the other colors, because they do have 6 different colors and they're super pretty. Isn't this gorgeous stitched up? All right, so we're going to use our 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. That's our eye hook. And then you're going to need a few other things. All right, you're going to need 2 D-rings for attaching the handles on the side, and this is a 1-inch D-ring. You're going to need a 1-inch button for the button tab that goes on the front. And then you can choose some different charms. This one is a little flashlight, good to have around. And this is just a little paw charm. Isn't that cute? It's actually a stitch marker. Has this little hook on it. But I'm going to use it as a charm. Okay? You'll need your scissors. Oh, and don't forget, you're going to need a needle, but you're going to need one with a nice big eye. Let me grab one over here. All right. You're going to need one with a nice big eye on it for weaving in your ends. But remember, if your needle doesn't fit through the hole of your button, that one did just barely, you'll need another one to sew your button on, okay? Now, I think I could probably use this yarn. I'll let you know when we get that far in the video. But if not, you can always choose a cotton yarn that is the same color as your button or your fabric that we made from crocheting to sew your button on. All right, so there's a couple of options there depending on what button that you choose. I chose this one because it's really pretty. I think it goes really good with the yellows in here. And of course, yellow is my favorite color. But also, it has great big holes. Like I showed you, this one will fit through there, but it might be a tight squeeze when I have the yarn on there. Okay? Alrighty. So that's what we need to make our lunch bag and tote. So what we need to get started is to start with our slip knot. And we're going to chain 20 chains. And I do recommend that you chain this chain just a little bit loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I need to chain 10 more because we need 20 chains. So I have stitched 20 chains just a little bit loose. And what we're going to do is double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this chain 3 counts as one also that we skipped. All right, and now what we're going to do is just stitch 1 double crochet in each of those double crochets across. One double crochet in each of our chains all the way across. So we started in the 4th chain from the hook and stitched 1 in each of our chains across. The chain 3 here that we skipped counts as our first stitch, so we have 18 double crochets across. We're going to chain 3, turn our work. Our chain 3 counts as our first stitch, so we'll go in the next stitch and stitch 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets across. And what we're doing here with these 2 rows is forming the bottom of our bag so that it has a little bit of a flat bottom. Makes it easier to slide Tupperware or lunch bags or goodies inside, or even yarn. 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets all the way across. So we have 18 double crochets. We're going to go ahead and chain 3. And what we've formed here is just the bottom portion of the bag so that it's not a rounded bottom, has just a little bit of a flat area. All right. So now we're going to do the first round. So we chain 3, we're going to turn our work, and we are going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of these double crochets across. All right, so I'm stitching 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets across. And when we get down here, we're not going to chain 3 and turn. We're going to be stitching down the side, then back up here, and then back up this side to form the first row all the way around. So again, we chain 3 and then 1 double crochet in each stitch across, so we have 18. Now we're going to turn our work this way, and we're going to evenly double crochet 5 stitches. All right, so 1, 2, 3, There we go. 5. All right, so when we do this across here, we want to try to stitch in the sides of those stitches. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet. Okay, so now we're going to turn and we're going to be working down the other side of our chain. And so we'll go right in that first stitch, that tail of yarn out of the way. We'll weave that in later. All right, and we're going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of those chains working across. Make sure that you have 18 double crochets across. When we're working on the opposite or other side of the chain like this, sometimes it's easy to skip a stitch or add a stitch. So make sure when you get down to this end that you have 18 double crochets across. I stitched across. I made sure I have 18 stitches across the back side there. And you can see how that's sort of forming what looks kind of like a little boat. That just gives us a place to put our things inside without the bottom being roly-poly, okay? All right, so now on this side, we want to evenly double crochet 5 just like we did on this side. All right, so we'll go right in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll join to that chain 3 where we started with a slip stitch and chain 3. All right, so let's take a look at that. We have 18 double crochets and then we have 5 double crochets. We have 18 double crochets and 5 double crochets. All right, and that's how we formed the bottom of our tote. So again, we have 18 plus 5 plus 18 plus 5, and that gives us a total of 46 double crochets around. We joined to our chain 3 and chained 3. And so now what we're going to do for row 4 is we're going to place 1 double crochet in each of those double crochets around. Now I do want to show you that this is the outside, so we want to push that way like this, so that now we're crocheting showing the outside of our bag. All right, oh, look at that pretty green coming in there. Isn't that pretty? All right, this yarn is just gorgeous, by the way. All righty, so now I'm going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets all the way around, and then I'll join back to that chain 3. And so now as we work, we're going all the way around and joining back to our chain 3 all the way around. Again, I stitched 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets working all the way around, so I have 46 double crochets. Joined to the chain 3 and chained 3. And now I'm just going to repeat that. Our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet on every row, and so now I'm just going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of those double crochets around, and again join back to my chain 3. Look at those beautiful colors. All right, so our chain 3 counts as our first, so we start in the next and stitch 1 double crochet in each of our double crochets all the way around, and again join back to our chain 3. So I have completed row 5, and again we have 46 double crochets. I joined to my chain 3 and chained 3. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue to repeat row 5 for 9 more rows. All right, so we're going to repeat row 5 for 9 more rows. I have stitched those 9 additional rows, so that brings us up to row 14. Isn't that just gorgeous? I absolutely love the way this bag has turned out. These colors are just amazing. All right, so for row 15, after row 14, we only chain 1, and that's because we're going to do a row of single crochet around the top, just to give it a nice edge. All right, so we're going to go right in that first stitch and stitch a single crochet, and then we'll stitch a single crochet in each of our double crochets, working all the way around our bag. I really love this yarn. It's very sturdy and yet it's not rough. It's absolutely beautiful. And as I'm working with it, I'm loving it for this tote. Alrighty, so I'm stitching 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets all the way around the top of my bag, and then I'll join back to my first single crochet. I have single crocheted all the way around, so we have 46 single crochets. I joined to my first single crochet and chained 1. Now what we want to do is we're going to slip stitch across, and then we're going to make that button tab. All right, so we're going to slip stitch in the first 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And we're going to stop. Now this will be the back of your bag. And now we're going to come back and do the button tab. All right, so we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our whole work over. And so now we're going to single crochet in the first 8 stitches. All right, and I'm going through all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and chain 1. And at this point you want to look at that and make sure that it's centered. This is the back of your work because we're going to make the button tab that comes this way. All right, so look at that, measure it, make sure everything is even and that these 8 stitches are centered on the back of your bag. All right, let's turn this around because we're going to work back across, and we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of those 8 single crochets. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and chain 1. So now what we're going to do, this is row 16 that we just did, and so what we're going to do is we're going to repeat row 16 for 6 more rows, and that will give us a nice size button tab. All right, so 1 single crochet in each of those 8 single crochets. I have stitched those additional 6 rows, and on this last row we're going to make the button hole. All right, so I chained 1. We're going to single crochet in the first 2. We're going to chain 4 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll skip 4 stitches and just single crochet in the last 2 stitches. All right, so now we have a buttonhole. We'll sew our button on, and that will go right over that and keep our bag closed. Let's cut that off. And we have an end to weave in here and one at the beginning. I almost forgot, we've got to put our button on. So I've got it sitting there. I'm lining it up so that I can close my bag. And I'm going to go underneath there. And I like to make a loop. For some reason, I just think it helps the button stay put better. All right, so I'm going to go through the holes. There we go, got a little twisted. I'm trying to go through some of those fibers so that it stays put. All right, I'm going to try to go through again. This yarn's kind of thick, but I want to make sure my button's going to stay put because it is going to be buttoned, you know, opened and closed. There we go. And it can be a little challenging getting through some of the fibers of this particular yarn. There we go. I'm going to grab my hook and pull that string to the back there. There we go. And now we'll just go ahead and tie this on nice and securely. Do that triple tie that I like to do. And I'm going to add one more knot here. I just really don't want my button to come off. Give it a good hard pull, both strands. There we go. There, now my button is on my bag and I've got a nice button loop. All right, so the next thing we need to do is add our 2 D-rings. I'm going to unbutton this. And we want to make sure that we line up on the side. And we're going to put our D-ring like this. And we're just going to go through and stitch that on. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail there. And you want to put as much yarn on there as you can because we want it to stay put, okay? So I'm going to go through there. And then I'm going to go back, looping it back the other direction. All right, straighten out some of those so it looks a little neater. Put one on the end. All right, and then I'm just going to go to the back. And now I've got my D-ring sewed on, so I'm going to come this way, cut that, and we're going to securely tie that again. I know in crochet we usually don't do knots, but I do not want these to come off. And this isn't crochet, this is sewing something on. Alright. Alrighty, so now I've got one of my D-rings sewn on. And I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Make sure everything's lined up and even. The D-ring on the outside and sew it on. So I have both of my D-rings sewn on evenly on my bag and it looks adorable. Alright, so the last thing that we need to do is make the handle or the strap because it can be used either way. All right, so I've got 2 strands of my yarn, and we're going to use 2 strands, and I want you to leave about 6 to 10 inches on the end, and we're just going to begin chaining, and we're going to chain 100 chains. And this is going to make a nice sturdy strap. All right, now as you're working, 100 sounds like a lot, but we are going to be doubling it through those D-rings, okay? So we're going to chain 100 chains using 2 strands of our yarn. I have chained 100 chains using 2 strands of yarn, and I'm going to go ahead and tie that off. Now I'm going to take the bag, and I'm going to take this and go through both rings. And I'll grab this one over here. And we're going to tie these 2 ends together. And we're going to push that up as close as we can to those ends of the chain. I'm pulling really hard, you can see that. All right, and then this makes a little bit of a tassel. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut it because I don't want it to be quite that long. But of course, you can keep it as long as you want to. And so what happens is you can carry it as a shoulder bag, or you can use both strands and carry it as just a tote. Okay? If this is too long, you can always make a shorter strap. It's totally up to you. Now, something that I recommend is to add some charms like these that I showed you, because this will make it so that no one will steal your bag, because they'll know it's yours. I added some charms. This is a flashlight actually, and my little paw print, because if someone tries to steal my lunch or my bag, I know it's mine because I made it and it has my charms on it. It's so cute, someone may want to try to take it. I absolutely love how it turned out. It's a great size to use for a purse or a small tote. Take a small project with you, or just, you know, fit a few things in for an evening out. It's just a beautiful bag. I love it. So many uses for such a small and beautiful bag.